Come on, let's be positive. Just stop right there. No negativity. Let's be positive. LBP, let's be positive.
Let's be positive, mate. We've got so much to be Oh, no, we don't actually. What a suck sporting weekend. Can I start by being positive and say that you didn't have to put yourself through another Bulldogs loss this weekend? That's got to be a start, doesn't it?
Oh, it was fantastic. Sunday afternoon, I sat down and watched the Knights and the Green Machine, the Canberra Raiders. And it was fantastic. I mean, look, I wanted the Knights to win, but it didn't matter to me like that normal Sunday night game. I walked away. I wasn't disappointed. I wasn't grumpy all Sunday night. It was fantastic.
There you go.
This is the best I've felt all NRL
See,
season.
this is great. I mean, you all of a sudden have started to enjoy the NRL because your team doesn't play.
I know, it seems pretty sad, doesn't it, that you get to finals time and you're glad that you're not being dragged through the mud again. But that's exactly how it was. That's exactly how it was. There's a couple of real favourites that have come out of the weekend, Martin. I think it'll be 1-2 as it's finished at the end of the season, because the rest of them, I just don't know they can beat the Panthers or Brisbane.
No, look, I mean, there's a golfing class there. Look, I watched all 4 games, mate, and I watched the Broncos beat the Storm on Friday night. I was a little bit pie-eyed by the end of that second half, but they were just immense, I thought. God, they didn't let them into the game. And as much as I want to be positive about the Warriors, you know, there's no disgrace in losing to a team that is back-to-back champs, that could well get a three-peat for the first time since the 1980s, that for the last 4 years, you've got to say, has been the best team in the competition. I mean, they are a machine.
Yeah, they're absolutely fantastic. I mean, there's no two ways about it. And the problem for the Warriors, Martin, is without Sean Johnson, they absolutely lack direction, and they never really look like they're able to get on the roll that they need to on attack. They still defended pretty well. I mean, you know, in the end, sure, some points got racked up, but the reality is that they did defend quite stoutly against the Panthers, who, you know, I thought at one stage might have put on 40-plus points. But they are a class above, and look, to me, they feel better than the Broncos. But that will be a great grand final, won't it? Because that's got to go that way.
Yeah, look, you think
you can't
so,
see it. You can't see it any other way, and that will be a terrific game. But Penrith, Nathan Cleary, I mean, look, no one knows what to do with him, you know. And when he's got the ball in hand, the rest of the Penrith Panthers know where they need to be, and he sometimes needs them, sometimes doesn't. But look, he's just a terrific player that leads a terrific team. The Warriors, yeah, without SJ, they just don't have the direction, unfortunately. It's, I suppose, interesting that a guy of his age has made such a massive difference to the Warriors, knowing the history that he's had with the club and the way he's been viewed by the fans. You can't knock what he's done this year, but if his calf injury isn't overcome by the weekend, they won't beat the Knights either.
Okay, look, yeah.
I want to be positive about it. I'd love to think they can win at home.
Yeah, same.
I'd love to think they can win at
we
home,
need
and
them,
that might be. But, you know, they just look bereft of any real intuition
what
when
got
they
me,
run
Matt,
at the opposition line.
You've watched League a lot longer than I have, mate. I just thought that they panicked a bit and they started to do what the All Blacks did, and that's just try miracle stuff from within your own 20 or 22, and that's never going to work in a finals game. Let's talk rugby, though, because I want to be positive and I want to celebrate with Eddie Jones, mate, because I tell you what, mate, you're back. You beat Georgia.
Oh, we're back.
You're back.
Look, he's been saying this for the last 5 test matches.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week.
That's it.
Well, this week we are back. We are back.
Yeah.
Look, I suppose the only issue I see from the win over Georgia, and when you go into pool play, game 1 of a World Cup, you do get a little nervous against a team like Georgia, is that we only had to make 72 tackles. We missed 22 tackles. And against any of the other top teams, missing that many tackles would have meant we would have got pantsed. So as much as we were reasonably good against Georgia, there's still issues within the team that says to me, against a stronger team, you can't make that many errors. You can't miss that many tackles. You just can't do it. But we got the points and a bonus point. We're sitting with a differential of plus 20 over Wales, and we will be cruising through Pool C. The other pools, Martin, look a little bit different. Should we look towards Pool A?
Oh, Okay, all right. Let's be positive about the All Blacks. And I tell you what, I'm struggling on every single level, not just because our replacement players aren't up to the standard required, and that was very evident with those 4 names, Papa Lee and Nepo and Leonard Brown and Tupou Vai, who just aren't in the same class as the guys that they're replacing. But what's worse, Matt, is our friggin' schedule, mate, because, now we've got 4 weeks. We've got Namibia, Italy and Uruguay and a bye in those 4 weeks. How does that prepare you for a quarterfinal? Remember the last time that we played Australia away, and then a month later we played South Africa? Oh no, we were rusty. Well, how are we not going to be rusty when effectively we're training by ourselves for the next 4 weeks?
After watching the game on Saturday morning, I started to think about where it is that you really need to improve. And it's all areas of the game. When the report card comes home and the kids get their marks that say, could concentrate more, needs not to be distracted, needs improvement in all areas. Well, the report card was about a C, I reckon, for the All Blacks. Look, France are a very, very big, strong team. New Zealand didn't cope with that. Gave away 12 penalties. You can't do that. Yellow card in there. Had plenty of the ball, Martin. Just couldn't do anything with it.
Well, yeah, and it just another fumbling, stumbling, bumbling All Black performance where, again, I don't understand what we're actually trying to achieve in a game of rugby. Trying to attack from 22, don't want to kick goals, don't want to get down there in and play any territory. And in the end, either pass it to Rico or pass it to Will Jordan. Apart from that, what are our tactics exactly again?
Well, the kicking tactics weren't very, very good. They didn't work at all. I wonder how the box kick with no attackers ever works. And to be honest with you, look, I'm struggling to be positive after that. France will go on to win this pool. There's no two ways about it. And okay, I don't think you need to be too upset about being beaten by that side because they played very well. But Namibia this week, so you'll definitely bounce back against Namibia, right? There's no two ways about it. But what can you draw from that?
Nothing.
Uruguay?
Nothing. These aren't even NPC standard sides. That's the problem, isn't it?
Do you know what you've got Italy.
Yeah.
Italy put 50 points on Namibia, so you can't really even judge their side going into this. The All Blacks should win the next 3, but it's not the competition you need. In some ways, it's like celebrating beating Australia and Argentina and then heading to the World Cup where there are other stronger teams because they looked okay against Australia, beating them, winning the Bledisloe back. But that form has not carried forward. And with better opposition, when are you going? For the quarters?
Yeah.
You're right. Well, I don't know if you should expect a semi, but, you can live in hope, I suppose.
We'll stay anyway, and we'll celebrate the sport of rugby and the World Cup. Just a cracker of a game between Wales and Fiji today. That was the game that really, I think, kick-started the tournament. That set the fireworks off. Let's be positive, though. New Zealand has won a Grand Slam tennis title. Now, the connection is okay. It's a little flaky. The girl was born here. She spent 4 years here to Canadian parents, went back to Canada, lived her life, and then decided in 2017 that, no, she'd rather play tennis for New Zealand. But we'll take it, mate. We don't earn titles on that level on the world stage in tennis, so we'll take that for sure.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tenuous thread, isn't it? Moved to Canada, grew up there, and then went to college in America. I think I heard this morning the young lady's 27 or 28. Look, you take them where you can, Martin. I always say that. But, look, I always used to not put as much credence in doubles as I do in singles. But over the years, there's been a number of great Australian doubles duos, and I think the game itself is worth celebrating, And to take a title for New Zealand, you just forget about the Canada part of it. Don't mention that in any further conversations.
Israel Adesanya to finish with, mate. Let's talk about him because that was really the shock result of the weekend. They're calling it the biggest upset ever in the middleweight division of the UFC. I don't know enough about the sport to know, in terms of, was that Ali losing to Leon Spinks? That's what I always take it back to heavyweight boxing, which I know a bit better. But he got absolutely belted, mate, from the very first round. I mean, I don't know how he withstood that barrage at the end of the first round, but he lost fair and square.
Oh, he lost fair and square. Look, I'm with you. Strickland in the first round, he hit him with a beautiful straight right to the jaw, and it rattled him, and then he just went berserk. I thought Adesanya's gone here, and somehow he managed to make it through that, but he never looked the same after that. And the confidence Strickland had from there on in. Look, I don't know, Martin, either, like you, where you would rank this as an upset. But over the last few fights, Adesanya hasn't looked like he did at the start of his career. And in many ways, it didn't surprise me because one good shot is all it takes in these
that's it. Yeah.
Absolutely brutal sports. And, you can imagine your average person taking one like that on the chin.
No, honestly, mate, no, you'd die. You'd be in La La Land forever. They have serious concussion problems for the rest. You wouldn't. No, I mean, even just to take one of those kicks on the leg, mate, it'd snap your leg. So, yeah, I mean, these are tough men, man. They're hard-ass tough men.
You wouldn't make it through 60 seconds of that kind of thing. So, but that's all it takes, right? You can be dominating a fight and someone lands a great punch and away you go. He certainly wasn't dominating. He looked like he was quite wary at the start of it. But you never know with him because, he's won other fights foxing a little bit and then dropping bombs like he did against Ferreira. But, yeah, look, I'm not disappointed he lost. Look, there's things about him I love, but there's also this excessive arrogance that I haven't enjoyed. I don't mind a bit of banter, and in the style that maybe Muhammad Ali used to throw out. But he gets very derogatory, very aggressive pre-bout, says a lot of things. When things don't go his way, everyone's a racist, or they don't support him, or they don't back him. So I suppose that underdog tag is what he likes to wear, going through life tough. But in a way, I just thought to myself, I don't mind some of these guys coming down a peg. And, what's that? That's 2 losses from his last 3 fights. How long can he keep going on? Has he lost the luster that he once had?